Hey everybody, welcome back. How you all doing? I'm gonna bring you, excuse me, I'm gonna bring you some information here uh, from Dr. Thomas Levy. And you see, I learned about toxic teeth from studying Weston Price. And after I got that education and was taking care of my toxic teeth, I run across Dr. Thomas Levy, a modern day man. So his message is pretty awesome. And on the homepage of the website, there's a link for you to click on for you to listen to this whole video. I also put the link for this video in the description of this video. And I got this queued up here at 13 minutes. We're going to listen for about a minute, and then we'll go from there. So here we go. Dr. Thomas Levy, 13 minutes into his talk at an international oral health conference. And Dr. Levy, what a trooper. He picked up the flu. He's feeling kind of poorly. You can pick that up in his voice. It's certainly made clear in the video and in the beginning, but he's going to tough his way through it. He does a real good job. So here we go, Dr. Thomas Levy.
Prototype as treatment principles for all chronic degenerative diseases. Number one, far and away the most important factor, is to prevent or minimize new daily toxin exposure. Environmental, air, food, water, dietary and digestive. Most people, unfortunately, produce a large amount of toxins from poor digestion. And that completely negates the quality of their diet, because even though they got wonderful organic food, they didn't digest it well. And then there's dental. Woe is their dental.
Whoa, is there dental? Let hear him say that one more time.
Number two, digested well. And then there's dental. Woe is their dental.
All right, I'm going to pause it there, and I'm going to push this forward just a little bit more. I'm going to skip a couple minutes here. This is all really good talk. I really recommend that y'all listen to this entire talk. This should all be brought forward. You should be teaching this to your kids, getting them to take care of their teeth. Why can't I back this up? There we go. Skip forward 10. I'm almost there. All right. We're going to listen to Dr. Thomas Levy for a few minutes here. There's some really good stuff he's bringing forward.
For contracting new infections. Number five, supplement and eat optimally. And number six, very important, addressing hormone imbalance. You just won't believe how much more horrible all these infections are when you're just a little bit low in thyroid, or you're a little bit low in your testosterone or estrogen. They're just multipliers, magnifiers.
All right, I'll pause it there for a minute. There's so much estrogen in your water, man, that it's turning on nature. You got frogs becoming he-she's. It's measurable in your tap water. It's in your beer. And apparently that colored strip on your triple blade razors and such, it's got estrogen in it. So it's reported. All right, back to Dr. Thomas Levy.
Now, the meat.
The meat.
What are the primary sources of oral infection and toxicity? Root canal treated teeth. Number two, and this is the thrust of the presentation and the upcoming book, other chronically infected teeth that are typically completely asymptomatic. You don't have a painful tooth, you have a tooth that's functioning perfectly fine mechanically, and it's got a huge radiolucency on it. chronic apical periodontitis, CAP. And this is far more toxic than any root canal can be. But it's silent. You don't know it's there unless you look for it. Now that sounds maybe almost condescending, but it's not. How do you know somebody has diabetes unless you measure their blood sugar? Answer is you don't. How do you know somebody has CAP on a completely asymptomatic tooth unless you do the most sophisticated procedure available for identifying it? 3D cone beam X-ray imaging. Number 3, obviously acutely symptomatic infected teeth. Those need to be addressed right away. Chronic periodontal gum disease, cavitational gangrene at the sites of old extractions and around the root tips of root canal treated teeth, chronically infected tonsils. You know, there's only so much I could talk about in an hour, but I want to tell you this is a biggie, and I'm not going to give it even remotely the amount of
All right. So our Truth, Health, Freedom fighter, Dr. Shiva, is coming out with a report on periodontal, and we can definitely him haw about talking with Ethan. He won't talk with me. We prevent calcified plaques. We remove calcified plaques with cannabis formulations. We rejuvenate lost gum tissue. We prevent gum tissue loss with cannabis formulations. We put a protective coating on the teeth that seals the microcavities and the micropores in your teeth, that's impermeable to acidics like apple cider vinegar and orange juice and grapefruit juice, and the acidics that plaque excrete, or the bacteria that lives in that plaque excretes. And the government just wants to attack and attack and attack. But Dr. Levy's got a lot more to say. Here's more Dr. Levy.
Pressing that needs to be done, because this brings people down. Their root canal teeth and their chronically asymptomatic infected teeth completely trash the tonsils, and those tonsils remain foci of infectious toxicity for decades after those teeth are gone. Once they become chronically infected, the tonsils are incapable of resolving themselves. Then there's infected dental implants, and there's toxic metals. So the primary sources of oral infection toxicity are root canal treated teeth, asymptomatic infected CAP teeth, symptomatic infected teeth, chronic gum disease, chronically infected tonsils. Now, I don't know if he's in the room right now, but Dr. Boyd Haley, in conjunction with Dr. Hal Huggins, determined, some close to 20 years ago, that root canal treated teeth are 100% infected. At least over 5,000 out of over 5,000 were. And when compared to an orthodontically extracted tooth that's not extracted for infection or pain, there is none of this there. Dr. Haley devised his test for looking at the effects that these teeth had on five critical enzymes in the body that relate to energy production. And he found that 100% of them had these toxins. Some of them in extremely high concentration, others in lesser concentration. But nevertheless, a tooth should be sterile. And with a root canal, it never is. So all root canal treated teeth continually produce endogenous toxins as the pathogens proliferate. They've been identified as infected and found to have fungi, viruses, and at least nearly 500 different bacterial species. But everybody's flora is different, and the combination inside a root
I'm going
canal
to play
is
that
different.
back 10 seconds.
500 different bacterial species. But everybody's flora is different, and the combination inside a root canal is different. And there is a wide variability of toxicity with a root canal, and I'm going to get to that in a moment. So, they've also done studies looking at exotoxins and found, at least in 3 different studies, each time that they looked at endodontically treated teeth, those toxins were present 100% of the time. 30 of 30, 21 of 21, and 34 of 34. Why does a root canal always have this pathophysiology? Well, it's a fatally flawed procedure because the purpose of the procedure is to take out what protects the tooth from infection. Okay? The immune system no longer has access to the pulp and especially to the dentinal tubules. And the immune system is not magical. It's something very physical, and it requires a physical access to infection. It'd be like you wanting to get on the other side of the Grand Canyon and just thinking that there's no problem jumping the Grand Canyon. Well, there is. And as mentioned in the earlier presentation, because for factors I think we still don't understand, but it's very easily observable, the fluid flow inside the tooth, which should normally go from the inside out, completely reverses after the root canal and goes from the outside in. The bacteria are trapped in an anaerobic environment and produce toxins on the order of botulism, and actually many-fold more toxic than botulism.
All right. So this is what your toxic teeth do. Every root canal tooth is a toxic tooth. It's not the worst kind of a toxic tooth. 15 million root canal teeth put in mouths of Americans every year. This man chewed a plaque dye capsule at the dentist. The dentist took pictures. This man used cannabis formulation, oral rinse, once a day for 30 days. Went back to the same dentist, did the same procedure, chewed that plaque dye capsule. Now you can see those pictures good and close up on the website, oralhealthwithcannabis.com. What causes tooth decay? What's the primary cause? Why do you go to the dentist a couple times a year? Every 6 months they recommend get what scraped off your teeth? Plaques. What if you don't have plaques on your teeth? You don't have to go to the dentist. Gum tissue rejuvenation was impossible. When Dr. Thomas Levy gave that talk, it was written in the United States National Library of Medicine that if you have lost gum tissue, it's gone forever. It's not coming back. Wrong. I got the patent. It was hard won. It was attacked. It was oppressed. It was suppressed. Still is. Every root canal tooth's a toxic tooth. Listen to that whole talk from Dr. Thomas Levy. It's very educational. You'll learn a lot. Now, he told you about the tubules. He doesn't tell you that there's 2 to 6 miles of tubules in the root of every tooth. But he will tell you, if you listen, that if it's in a molar, the immense pressure from chewing is more effective than a syringe at delivering those toxins, which can be many more times that of botulism, directly into your lymphatic system. He'll tell you it's the cause of most heart attacks, most breast cancer, and can be a cause of virtually any inflammatory disease. All right. I'm still waiting for that call, Dr. Shiva, you truth, health, freedom fighter. Help me bring this out, would you? You got a much bigger audience than I do. A much bigger audience. And you're talking about cannabis. And you're going to put out a paper on periodontal, your big study. Let's bring this forward, huh? All right. I love you, everybody. I'm fighting for you. Listen to Dr. Thomas Levy. Find him on the homepage of my website. While you're there, scroll down near the bottom and see how cannabis works as a sunscreen. I'll be back. Much love.